CBS Eye on the World. I'm John Batchelor with Bill Rosho, the Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. With Tom Johnson and their colleagues, they keep the Long War Journal. Bill and Tom also do Generation Jihad, their podcast, highly recommended, backwards and forwards. It'll give you the history of where we are right now, which is through a glass darkly into Afghanistan. There is no transparency whatsoever with the reporting. However, we have the record of what the Taliban has said, what it does, anecdotes coming out, and we have the Haqqani Network. The Haqqani Network is critical to understand. There's no comparable example I can think of in American history, because the Haqqani family operates in Pakistan as sometimes opponent of the Pakistan government that sponsors the Taliban. It operates in Afghanistan as a helpmate, a very sophisticated helpmate to the Taliban. It also has an integral relationship with al-Qaeda in the region globally, a reputation, and is based on one man who's no longer with us. Bill, who was Jalaluddin Haqqani? What did he achieve in his lifetime, and who is his successor in the Haqqani Network?
Yeah, Jalaluddin Haqqani started his career as a Mujahideen commander against the Soviets. He was part of the Khalis network in Afghanistan, but he quickly rose to prominence. He had a base in the Haqqani family still has a base in North Waziristan, a tribal agency in northwestern Pakistan. He quickly grew to support the global jihadist cause and had deep ties with foreign terrorists, particularly the Arabs that ultimately made up al-Qaeda. He ran training camps for them in the region, both during the jihad against the Soviets and in the 1990s. He joined ranks with the Taliban as the Taliban was marching to take control of Afghanistan in the early to mid 1990s. He became a minister within the Taliban's government. After he's played a crucial role, one of the three key figures that got Osama bin Laden into Afghanistan after he was ejected from the Sudan. And since then, he died of natural causes in 2018, but he was a member of the Taliban's top central leadership council. And his son is Sirajuddin Haqqani, who became the head of one of the key military shuras or military councils, the Miram Shah Shura, named after the town in North Waziristan. He became the operational leader of the Haqqani network in the late 2000s, early 2010s. And he rose to the prominence to become a deputy. This is Sirajuddin now, who became one of two deputy emirs for the Taliban, the other being Mullah Omar's son. And now, Sirajuddin is not only as a deputy emir, but he is the interior minister. This is arguably the most important post in the Taliban's government. He's appointing the governors for the provinces and also organizes the internal security forces for the Taliban and does things like control its intelligence networks. Sirajuddin probably would be the real military commander, the man responsible for the plan for the Taliban's offensive that took over the country. Again, he's a specially designated global terrorist. For the Haqqani network is a terrorist organization. It's designated for ties to al-Qaeda. Just about there's 16 members of the Haqqani clan that have been designated, and I think 14 of the 16 explicitly mentioned al-Qaeda as their support for al-Qaeda. And Sirajuddin has been named by the United Nations Security Council as being a leader within al-Qaeda. If the deputy emir of the Taliban and its interior minister is also an al-Qaeda leader, what does that make the Taliban? These are the questions that no one in the U.S. government really is asking, let alone trying to answer. But the implications of this are staggering. And this is why when Tom and I say al-Qaeda has safe haven and support of the state, elements of that Taliban state are actually part of al-Qaeda. And this is why everyone should be losing sleep. If what happened in Afghanistan stayed in Afghanistan, it was just a little brush war, we could ignore it and move on and just, it would be a stinging defeat. But what we have here in Afghanistan is far, far more complicated and far more concerning, and the Haqqanis play a humongous role in as to why this is problematic.
A detail about Sirajuddin Haqqani, now a member of the Taliban cabinet, leader of the family. Tom reports, and you have reported, that he actively protected Hamza bin Laden, Osama bin Laden's son, who was being prepared to be the leader of the Al-Qaeda network. He was killed in a drone strike several years past, I believe. And the Sirajuddin Haqqani is entirely disposed to protecting as many members of Al-Qaeda as possible anywhere they are in the region. Is that correct, Bill?
That is correct. I tracked the U.S. drone strikes in Afghanistan from 2004 to 2000, they pretty much ended in 2017. And 95% of the strikes took place in North and South Waziristan. And the areas in North Waziristan where the strikes took place, nearly all of them were in territory controlled by the Haqqani family. And routinely, senior and mid-level and Al-Qaeda leaders, operatives, bomb makers, things like that were killed alongside Haqqani members. So the Haqqanis played an instrumental role in protecting Al-Qaeda and sheltering Al-Qaeda even during that deadly drone campaign that was taking place in Pakistan.
And our final remarks here, because Tom is testifying before Congress and all of this material is available through the congressional record. Bill, your understanding of reporting out of Afghanistan, is there any one or more sources that we can now depend upon? We no longer have CENTCOM. I read from the AP report this morning. Is that now the best we can do into Kabul? We have about 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is the dark hole that Afghanistan has become. The vibrant Afghan press has been suppressed by the pack. It's become part of the Taliban. There are independent reporters, but they're reliant on the Taliban to give them access. The best we can do is look at what's being put up on social media by people with phones that still have internet access, but that's going to continue to dry up as well.
Bill Rajo, Senior Fellow, Foundation for the Defense of Democracy, along with Tom Jocelyn and their colleagues. They keep the Long War Journal. This is CBS Eye on the World. I'm John Batchelor.
You're listening to CBS Eye on the World with John Batchelor.
When it comes to delivering customer support, there are some things you don't want teams to hear. Intercom's streamlined support platform clears up space for more organized workflows and peace of mind. Our business messenger uses chatbots, shared inboxes, apps, and more. Who doesn't like the sound of that? Intercom. Less of this. And more of this. To learn more, go to intercom.com/support.
Si tú y tus amigos ordenan de McDonald's juntos, deja que los demás agarren su comida primero. Yo sé. El solo pensar en el olor de las papitas y tener que esperar para meter tu mano en la caja y sacar unas suena loco. Pero por regla, si eres la última persona que sostiene la bolsa, entonces las papitas que se cayeron al fondo de la bolsa son tuyas. La paciencia paga, amigos. Para pa pa pa.